guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I haven't done a sit down video in a while, so I thought we would have a catch up. We would just have a good old chit chat. First of all, I hope you guys are all doing well. I hate myself for saying this, but I genuinely feel quite wintry. Like, I'm sitting here in this jumper, I have my blanket over my legs. Like, we haven't even had a summer in the UK. It's been awful, but we're not gonna dwell on that, okay? Today is gonna be a video all about what I've learned from being a student for quite a long time, you know, like quite a few years. So I obviously started at Cambridge in 2016. That is when I started this channel as well, and you know, I am still here. I am still technically a student up until the 8th of September, which is when I finish my masters, and that is coming up in just over a week when I hand in my project, which is crazy. But yeah, what have I learned from being a student? I just wanted to pull together my thoughts because I really think being a student has taught me a lot. We're coming to the end of a chapter, another chapter will end and a new one will start. And so yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this video. Definitely give it a thumbs up if you do, comment down below, subscribe and hit the bell if you are new. And also, if you would like to see a video where I kind of do like a big summary of my time at UCL, well, at UCL, you know, being an online student, and kind of compare it to Cambridge, then let me know down below, like this video, because I will be doing that at some point, you know, after the 8th of September. So definitely look out for that video and other new exciting content, because as I said, new beginnings are on the horizon. So yeah, the first one is basically something I have said before, but I will say it again, and I really want to stress this because being a student has seriously taught me that success is so important. No, that's the wrong way around. Failure is so important for success. You know, failure is key to success, for you to succeed in the future. I faced a lot of hurdles. I was challenged in so many new ways, and you know, it doesn't have to be failure in the sense that, you know, you failed an exam or you did really badly on an assignment. Like, it can just be as simple as getting, you know, more constructive criticism or a bit of negative feedback, or it can be you getting like a single question wrong. It can be as small as that. But doing something wrong and making mistakes, failure in that sense, is so important for you to make progress, for you to move forwards, and as I said, to succeed in the long run. I've learned so much more from making mistakes and doing things wrong in comparison to always doing things right. In that very moment, you probably won't appreciate it. So the example that comes to mind for me is at the start of my 3rd year at Cambridge. I wrote my first essay of the year, and it was a really bad essay. Like, looking back, I just didn't answer the question and I got really bad feedback. Well, pretty bad feedback, you know. A lot of it was like, you could have done this, you should have done this, why did you do that, you know? I read that feedback and at the time I broke down. I filmed that video where I was just crying in my room in the evening, but you know, looking back, I am so glad I got that feedback because I just learned so much from it. I was like, okay, I need to work on this. I really need to pay attention to this. I'm not saying like go out of your way and try and fail, like that's not the point. But it's like, if you do find yourself in that situation, then it's okay. Every cloud has a silver lining. You are gonna learn from that, and you're gonna learn so much more from that in comparison to just getting, you know, sunshines and rainbows on all of your pieces of work. Really, in this sense, we can redefine failure, because like, it may be a failure, but you learn so much from it, so it's not really a failure. Why do I always hiccup when I'm filming videos? I just don't get it. The second one is quite deep, but it's basically that you will never know everything. You know, you can think that you know so much in your field of interest, but at the end of the day, you will never know everything. And I just think that is one of the most exciting things about learning. And you know, you really do appreciate that when you go to university, because the field just becomes so broad and there is so much stuff that you can learn, and you'll never know everything. So don't try and learn everything. When I first went to Cambridge, we were thrown into the deep end as natural scientists. You know, like nat skis, we seriously like have to sink before we swim. But you know, like with that, you just have to appreciate that there is going to be stuff that you don't know. I've walked into so many exams knowing that there are going to be questions that I probably don't know the answer to because I haven't been able to learn everything. And you just have to embrace that, you have to accept that. And you know, in that respect, as I said, it keeps learning fun, but it means that you can choose the topics that you want to learn about. You know, if something interests you, you go and do that research. Learn some of the stuff that's not so exciting and appealing to you, yes, but prioritize the subjects that you really enjoy. Another extension of this point is that, you know, if you don't know something and you're maybe doing some research into something and you can't find answers to something, it potentially means that we don't have those answers yet. You know, in biology there are a lot of things we don't know yet, and that goes for any field, whether it be science, technology, engineering, humanities, whatever subject it is. You know, there are always things we don't know, and there are always more things we can learn about. Enjoy learning for that reason. Enjoy the enormity, is that a word? I think it is. It sounds kind of overwhelming, but you are just a little fish in a big ocean, and just have fun swimming and making bubbles, because yeah. My third lesson then is something that I have learnt over this past year in doing my masters. It is basically that balance is so important. I definitely think I did have a balance at Cambridge, however my life wasn't as balanced as it is now as a student, sort of thing. Studying, yes, is a big part of being a student, but it's not everything. First of all, I never thought that I'd be able to complete a whole degree. I haven't fully finished yet, but you know, we're gonna say we're almost there. You know, I never thought I'd do a whole degree online, because I thought that, you know, I had to be like in a certain environment to be a student and to study, i.e. go to like a university campus or be in like a city where the university is, like Cambridge. You know, I just didn't think it would be possible to study at home and online. And secondly, I just didn't think I'd ever find this breathing room, you know, this ability to let my hair down a bit, which hasn't happened because the holly bun still exists to this day. But you know what I mean, like in a metaphorical sense, I could just relax a bit. The fourth thing is something that I have known for a while, but I really just want to put it out there, and I want every student to have this in their minds, even for school students. You know, I should have said this at the start, like, yes, I am talking about my university experiences, but school students can relate to this, you know, if you are studying in any sense. But my fourth point is basically that exams are not there to show what you don't know, they are there to show you what you do know, and you are going to show the examiners what you do know. You know, it's your time to shine. When I first started doing exams, I just thought it was like some sort of video game with loads of like booby traps? Booby traps. Is it booby trap? I don't know. Loads of traps basically set up, you know, trying to catch me out. But like, I encourage you not to think about an exam in that way, okay? I want you to think about an exam as a test of your knowledge, so that you can show what you know. Make all of that revision and all of that hard work pay off. Obviously exams are stressful, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're not, but I really want you to try and see an exam in a positive light and see it as an opportunity, as I said, to show off your knowledge. Related to exams, lesson number 5 is basically that online exams, well, more specifically 24-hour online exams, are the worst exams you will ever take. So we have taken a bit of a turn, but yeah, as you guys know, I did have a 24-hour online exam as part of my master's degree. I didn't think it was going to be that stressful, I'm not gonna lie, but it was the worst exam I have ever taken. The end result wasn't awful, like it actually went really well, but those 24 hours were just so stressful. I obviously vlogged that. I slept during the first bit of the exam, then I woke up and I did the exam and I worked on the exam for multiple hours. It was so awful because like you just felt trapped in an exam for so many hours. Obviously these 24-hour online exams have only come about really since COVID, but if I was doing exams again in the future, I would 100% prefer to do them in a short window. Like, give me 3 hours to do an exam and that's fine. Yes, it is recommended that you only work on the exam for like a certain period within those 24 hours, but I'm personally just not going to be that person. You know, if you're going to give me 24 hours to work on an exam, I'm sorry, I'm going to take that. But I just hated that. I was constantly thinking about these questions for 24 hours and I was so stressed, and everyone else in my family was stressed because I was stressed. It was the worst experience ever. Full details in that video, but trust me, if you do have an online 24-hour exam coming up, prepare yourself mentally, okay? It's gonna be fine. And once it's over, I just hope you invite your whole neighborhood to have like a party celebration, because you know, you deserve that. Congratulations. But I am warning you that they are not nice exams. Number 6, plain paper is the best. Do I need to say anything else? Not really. Number 7 relates to essay writing, ultimately. I have seriously learnt that using subheadings in your writing, in your essays, is so valuable and so worthwhile doing. The analogy of the day is that, you know, if you write a long essay or like a big project, you know, without any subheadings, it's basically trying to navigate like a really dense forest without any signposts. And for a long time, I shied away from using subheadings because I thought that an essay, well, in a scientific sense anyway, and for biology, I just thought it had to be like a continuous piece of writing and like continuous prose. But if you use subheadings, as I said, it's you putting up signposts in the forest, so someone can then go on their orienteering exploration and, you know, go into the forest, see the first sign, turn left, walk down a bit, turn right. You are signposting the reader, and it makes it so much easier for them to read. And if someone is able to navigate your writing a lot better, and, you know, they understand where you're going with this, what you're going to talk about next, it's going to be so much easier for them, as I said, and you're ultimately going to inflate your marks because it's easier to understand and it's structured in a really nice way. You know, I just think that using subheadings and signposting the reader is so good, and it also focuses your mind. In the past, when I've spoken about subheadings, I've talked about them in the sense that you can use subheadings as questions, so you can break like your main essay title into lots of smaller questions and answer those individually, which works really well. However, yes, sometimes you are limited by words, and sometimes a smaller and more concise subheading that's not a question will also suffice. Subheadings, I just think they're so important, and I would encourage you to try using them. I do remember the first time I used subheadings in a piece of writing or an essay at Cambridge, I think. I was like, this feels so weird. But trust me, it will become more normal, and it really helps and improves your writing. Like, trust me, I just seriously think it's so good, especially if you're like a biology student or a science student. But I think it can apply to like other subjects for sure as well. So the 8th thing that I have definitely learnt from being a student is that finding a genuine study buddy to like work with and to study with is like the best thing. The concept of a study buddy was introduced to me at school, but I never really appreciated it. I was like, oh, study buddy, like whatever. But now I can really say that having a study buddy to work with and to study with and to, you know, talk about things with is so valuable. This has come from like my personal experiences, but I've also seen it in the experiences of others, and I just think, as I said, it's so useful. You're obviously going to do your own thing. You're not going to hold hands the whole time. You're not going to sit exams together, you know, and do all of the same things. But having someone who has your back in an academic sense is like so amazing. You can discuss things, you can have like academic conversations or debates, and you can talk about different essay questions, how you would approach things, and you can talk about your problems, your dilemmas, just sharing things with each other and sharing advice. You might even want to share notes, you know, it depends how far you want to take it. It is going to take time. They're probably going to be a friend, but you are going to find someone, ultimately, trust me, that you will get along with so well on a personal level and also on an academic level. Number 9 is basically then that it is never too late to change your mind as a student. For me, I've had 2 experiences where I've made like really last minute decisions, but they've ultimately ended up being like 2 of the best decisions I've ever made. I embarked on a particular course at first, but then I swapped really last minute. If there is something niggling in the back of your mind, if your gut says that it's not right, you know, don't just go with it because it's the easy option. Don't just ride it out for the sake of it. If you are not happy with something, if you think you want to change your mind, then change your mind. Even if you start doing an undergraduate course and you feel it's not right for you, do something about it. Change to do something that you're going to enjoy ultimately, because it's just not worth it. Like, I know that if I'd have done biochemistry in my second year at Cambridge, I just wouldn't have had a great time. And I'm also so glad I did a dissertation in my 3rd year because I really enjoyed doing that, and that is what I ultimately wanted to do. So my last lesson then, lesson number 10, is basically that there is no single road or single path that every student should go down. You are in the driver's seat, you are driving that car, and you can decide what you want to do in your academic journey, okay? Like, for example, you can choose whether or not you want to do a master's. You can choose when you want to take a gap year. You can choose how many gap years you want to have. I am so adamant that you should never follow a crowd, and you should always do what you want to do. After my undergraduate degree, I thought I was going to go straight into a full-time job. You know, I thought that that is what I had to do because everyone else was doing that. But you know, I decided instead to take a gap year, and that was the best thing for me. I got so many people saying to me, you know, like, Holly, you should go straight into doing a PhD, or you should go straight into doing a full-time job, because if you leave it too late, you're never going to be able to get back into it. But I definitely don't think that's true. There is always a time and a place for learning and for studying. You can always come back to it. Even if like 15 years down the line, I want to go back and do a master's or something, that opportunity is there for me. You know, I can do it if I want to. If you put your mind to something and if you are determined to see something through, then you'll do it, you'll succeed. Like, there are no rules at all, and you can do what you want to do. Most importantly, I've enjoyed what I've done. I've, you know, done my own thing. I found my own path, and I'm here today. But yeah, I really hope this video has maybe inspired you or given you a bit of motivation or reassurance, but whatever it is, I just hope it's been a useful video. And yeah, I think it's messages that we should all be reminded of, especially when we are, you know, on that studying grind and, you know, working really hard and sometimes feeling really stressed out. Yeah, at the end of the day, it should be fun. There's always a time for learning, and you do you. Thank you as always for watching this video. As I said at the start, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, I will speak to you very soon in another video. Bye!